A very good morning. It's Mark here. Let's just get to our normal starting point, which is the US dollar index. I was just going over Bitcoin. Hard to keep away from looking at Bitcoin right now. US dollar index. Friday, 28th of February, last day of the week, last day of the month. And let's see how things are looking and standing going into this last trading day of February. US dollar index, surprisingly strong. Look at yesterday, how it fought back, cleanly broke above the descending trend line, all the way up to establishing resistance at 107.18. And with, I think, mentioning that how I've been talking about sentiment towards the US dollar being weak and looking at this downtrend, putting in the descending trend line. Yet, as a technical trader, even though I may feel that way, certainly the facts are telling me otherwise. And I'm seeing the US dollar putting in a strong showing. And regardless of what I think and what I feel, I certainly only act on what I see as a technical trader. So US dollar index strong, sitting at resistance 107.18. Now that the US sessions just got underway, we'll wait to see whether the US dollar is going to continue to strengthen and add to yesterday's gains. Alternatively, a bounce down off these levels if sellers take over or sellers set in and come back and look down towards this support area at 106.32. What could be play a part in that is in 10 minutes time, 8:30 Eastern, we do have core PCE data being released, kind of similar to CPI data, measuring the price of goods, and that could certainly have an effect on the market. That comes out in 10 minutes. Let's have a look at S&P. S&P has been sold off really strongly. Have a look at this. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the seventh day, all red candles, lower highs, lower lows. All the major US equity markets have seen this kind of sell-off, sitting at support right now at 5,875. Have a look since November last year. Sellers have tested this level a few times before, unable to add to and maintain below this level. Let's see today where the buyers do step in and there's a bounce up off this support area, or if we're going to see further downside and a break below this very important support level here. The Walmart, excuse me, Wall Street opens up in about an hour, 8:23 now at 9:30 Eastern. So we're an hour away from the major US indices opening up. Let's have a look at gold. Another of our instruments where we've seen a big sell-off continuing today, support sitting at 2,847. And in the same way that I, from a sentiment point of view, fundamentally have kept saying and that the US dollar, the negativity around the US dollar and looking for sell trades on the US dollar and the US dollar coming down, well, it turned around, and technically that's plain to see. We looked at that on the charts. In the same way that US dollar has been so very strong, always looking for buying opportunities, and gold's safe haven status playing such a big role in gold's strong rally. And yet here we are, technically a turnaround, a sell-off, reversed the uptrend, go with what we see. So as technical traders, always trade what we see and not what we think or what we feel. And there you go, and you see gold being sold off strongly at the support now at 2,850. Let's look to see whether, now that the US session is underway, if sellers continue and break below this support and go even lower and look for the 2,800 level, or alternatively, whether buyers do step in and we see a bounce of the support level and buyers look up to that 2,900 level on the upside. Oil. Brent oil, which did fight back yesterday. Don't know if that can last. No, it can't. There you see the fight back yesterday off the support at $72, fought back nicely yesterday, resistance at 73.72, but from the open today, sellers have been in control, have sold off, and no demand at those current levels at yesterday's close, should I say, in the open today. Sellers are dominating and perhaps looking to come back down and test this 72 level again. If sellers break below this 72 level, 71.96, certainly $70 will be targeted. Buyers, on the other hand, will look to retake yesterday's resistance at 73.76. And then Bitcoin, such a strong sell-off. And this strong move lower, that's like $20,000 since last week, Friday, which is really a strong sell-off and a strong move lower, reminiscent of the strong move higher we saw in November last year, the Trump rally, when he spoke up Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and US becoming the crypto capital of the world. And we saw what happened to crypto, particularly to Bitcoin, from below 70,000 all the way up here to 99,000. Same starting point actually of the sell-off now that we've seen this past week, from 99,000 and all the way down here to 78,500, below the 80,000. It has fought back slightly today. We will watch to see whether sellers continue with the sell-off, test the support at 78,000 and lower, and start looking towards this 70,000 level. Alternative buyers, the small bounce we've seen so far, if that continues and buyers can get back over 80,000 and look up here to the 86,000 and back to the 90,000. Good trading. Keep that discipline. See you at the end of the day.